Hello, everybody. Welcome back to VolleLotte with another Zoom meeting. I'm here with Steffi.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Uh, so, a little bit of an update. I already posted that today. I raced yesterday in Gerardsbergen. Didn't go as well. I dropped out because of some kind of headache, migraine, dropped out and ended up in hospital. No news about that. So sometimes things happen and you just have to move on. And yeah, but of course, I would like to get back into the topic of my racing calendar, which is pretty full. I'm gonna be racing this weekend in Denmark and another race in Denmark. The week after that, it's both are half distance races. And yeah, so there's more races coming in July, a big one that we're gonna announce very soon. So
Yeah, Mel, just a
yeah.
question. So you did get Bergen, and you move on now, you go to Denmark. So where are you at the moment?
So I'm actually in Germany.
Okay.
I'm in the Casa del Steffi. Um, and I'm just on my way to Denmark. It's a big drive from Belgium to Denmark, so I'm quite happy I can have a
Stop
stopover.
over.
Yeah.
So you are used to do a lot of races during the year. So mostly back to back half distance race. What about the travel? You suffer on the travel, or do you think there's no impact on performance back to back?
I, well, good question. I wouldn't say there is no impact because any travel puts some stress on your body. On the other hand, I do feel like coping with travels, I'm coping generally well. It might have been last week. I traveled a lot from Austria to Belgium. It might have been a little bit too much. I don't know. But usually I cope really well if everything is going according to plan. If I don't have to stress from one point to another, then usually I'm coping really well.
Okay, great. So just talk about a little bit about racing schedule, full race, back to back races for females and men. So when I started with triathlon, and my first coach, he said you only can train or can perform maybe one or twice a year, best performance. But before I was coached by him, I realized that when I did every weekend, for example, a 10K race, or I did a lot of small running races, and I got stronger and stronger during the year. And I think there's a difference between men's and females. What do you think? So you race, I don't know how many half distance races you do in per year.
Yes, exactly. I'm very used to race a lot of half distance races, especially in the first half of the season. Because I do feel like the more I race, the more race toughness I get, and I'm actually coping really well with recovery, with build up for next race, and then I go hard again, and so on and so on. And I do believe that, and I've seen it not just with me, with a lot of females,
Yes.
that racing a lot can actually improve you. You recover a little bit easier than probably men do, and it's just the training structure that is a little bit different, and so is it with racing. And the more you race, you go on and you don't drag it on for too long. So so the more you race, the tougher you can get. It's not for, I do believe it's not for every
Everybody.
female. Yes, but the tendency I feel is going towards that females usually cope really well with that, and
Yeah,
can.
that's also my experience by myself and coaching other athletes, female athletes especially. They usually they can't go 100% in training, but when they're in the race, it's like boom. So they can perform, but even in the race, they are not able to go so hard that they knocked out at the end. So usually a day later, they can do, or on the same day, for example, on a half distance. A lot of female athletes do a spin afterwards, 1 hour or 30 minutes, just easy spin and continue training. And they can implement races in the training period. And there's no so much different in the results if they do it tapered or if they do it coming from a big volume week, for example, preparing a Ironman distance and doing a half 4 weeks before. So is
Yeah.
it also your experience by yourself?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I'm racing, I'm not tapering for very long. So I train pretty much normally until a couple of days before a race. So when you're racing on one weekend and racing the next weekend, you have loads of time to actually recover. Well, and to build up again. So you don't need a lot of taper.
One
And
question.
yeah.
When you coach athletes and you have a female and a male, and you, for example, you have the race week preparing half distance, race week, is there any different the 2 days before coaching a female and a male? Before, for example, a Sunday is a race, the half distance race.
Yes, so I
Can you give
try,
us an example?
yeah, so usually when I do believe that both men and women should be doing the 3 disciplines a day before a race. I believe that is a good thing. Sometimes I feel like a man, maybe they should do the run on a Friday to have another day off their feet. Usually I don't put on that much intensity on the males, but more the day before the race, more intensity for the females, because they are going to recover until the next day. It's just short sessions, but they're going to recover. And even in race week, I do believe that women keep up more intensity for longer into the week, while I take a little bit back with the men, and because they usually need a little bit of a little bigger taper for a race. That's my belief. Yes.
Yes, cool. Thanks for the insights. Good. Any topics or race
Yeah,
calendar? Mel is racing next weekend and the weekend after.
yeah.
So
And
two
I'm gonna be racing in Denmark. I'm
in
gonna be
Denmark.
racing in Denmark. And you know what? After that bummer race yesterday, after that little bit of a letdown, I'm really happy to be racing in Denmark, because that is another thing. You have to choose your races wisely, and especially when you're maybe not that when you have some kind of struggles, it's always good to race in a place where usually you get a really good feeling out of, so you get a boost. And so I'm really looking forward to be racing in Denmark, and I've got I
Yeah,
just
and I think for every female, if we would like to have fun, it's not only to have you have your own goal. I agree,
yes
but I think the fun or fun is important, and if you want to race, race. So this is just, yeah.
It is really like that. I mean, if you always hear people talking about, oh, I'm just doing it for fun. Yes, you should be doing it for fun, because if you don't enjoy doing this sport, you have to question what you're doing. And I believe it's very important to not forget why we're doing that. It's because we have passion for what we do. It's because we have fun. And that's how I got into the sport. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes I have to remember, and I have to remind myself that it's very important to enjoy what I'm doing. Uh, I I do love this sport. I do enjoy when I can train with other people. I enjoy, like with you, we train quite a lot together. This is quality in triathlon,
And
and it's
motivation.
and motivation.
So if,
Absolutely.
yeah, if the people or the females are or I would recommend that you're looking for a training buddy, a female training buddy, that it's uh, at its best. So the motivation, the quality, fun, and sometimes crazy ideas to do not only triathlon, but we will talk about in our next video about that. So stay
Yeah.
tuned here on VolleLotte in our YouTube channel. And yeah, so we are good for today, I think.
I think so too. You'll find the link to our YouTube channel in the bio on Instagram. So be sure to check it out. We don't post every video. We post most of just the ones where we get deep into a topic, and but so we can talk for a bit longer, and for you to actually keep watching.
Exactly. And if you want to have some insights of our training, so keep stay tuned and yeah, follow us. Have a great
Yeah.
evening. Ciao,
See
ciao.
you
Bye
soon.
bye.